94.1, Java Joel here with an Ohio legend, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Josh Dunn, 21
An
Pilots.
Ohio legend. Wow.
I'm telling you, where are you right now? You in Ohio or are you
I'm in Columbus.
nice?
I'm
Did
in
you guys
Columbus.
ever relocate to the West Coast like everybody else does? Or did you guys pretty much stay in Ohio?
I did. Tyler never left. Um, I lived in LA for like 7 years because of a girl. And then we got married and we wanted to relocate and she wanted to come back here and so did I. So here we are. We're back. We've been back here for like 5 years now.
Ohio gets a bad rap. I've lived in Ohio 20 years now, and I know that that's the thing, like that's the meme, right? Ohio, Ohio, it's all bad. I
Yeah.
love it here. It's great.
Hey, you know what? Keep the memes coming. We'll keep the secret to ourselves. It's fine.
It's kind of funny. I just checked. It was 16 years ago this week, back in 2010. You guys did a show here in Canton, Ohio, at a place called the Oracle here in downtown Canton. It was
Okay, yeah,
May
the
8th.
Oracle. Yeah.
The little club, great venue. We've done some shows with those guys. And every time we're there, they always mention how you guys played there back in the day. But it's kind of weird that it was like the 16th anniversary of that event happening like this week. So I think that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
that is wild. That you know what? That actually might have been right before my before Tyler and I started playing music together. He was playing with some other guys. But I think we played that venue, he and I too. So,
Okay, yeah.
but that's
And
crazy.
think about how much time has elapsed, and you went from the Oracle to today's big announcement, which we're going to talk about right now. There's been some strange things happening up at the Ohio Stadium in Columbus, drone shows and weird little hints, and it came out today. And I'll let you do the honors for folks who don't know yet, but what's happening?
Yeah, so this year, October 17th, we're playing at the Ohio State Stadium, which feels crazy for me to say. Um, but yeah, you know what? Exactly like you said, thinking back to 15 years ago, we've played in Canton a number of times, and I remember the first few times, it's like, man, we've got what is this, a 300 cap room? There's maybe 100 people here, which was great. Um, but it is, and that's something Tyler and I like to do is kind of like reminisce, go back to the early days and talk about before even a van, there was an SUV that we traveled around with our buddies and had a trailer that we unloaded and we carried that piano up and down stairs and the drum cases um really kind of worked our way to get to the next level of each city and the next size up venue and here we are in Columbus. We're playing Ohio State Stadium.
Crazy. October 17th, there is a pre-sale that starts Tuesday, but you got to sign up for it by Sunday night. 21pilots.com to check that out. But it's Ohio Stadium, October 17th. Tickets will officially go on sale a week from tomorrow, which is the 22nd of May. I would imagine that this thing is going to sell out fairly quickly. I know it's a stadium, but people in Columbus alone. But think about it, this is like the biggest hometown show you guys have ever done. So I'd imagine that your fans from all around the world will be flying in for this thing to support you guys.
Man, that's another crazy thought. Some people do fly in, and again, going back to those early shows around Ohio, Canton, Akron, Cleveland, Columbus. Nobody was flying in. People were barely leaving their house to come to see the show.
Right.
So it is, yeah. And I think also as time goes too, like the amount of effort that it takes. I think, listen, I'm from Columbus and I don't want to go through the effort to go down to OSU Stadium to see a show. There's so much that you got to find parking, you've got to figure out what time is dinner, when am I going to be able to eat and navigate crowds and not even to mention to get on a plane and come in. So we don't take for granted the amount of effort that people go through to come to a show.
Yeah,
So
the 21 Pilots fan base is pretty rabid. I mean, you guys are very lucky in that regard that your fans will do anything for you. And
yeah,
I see in the background there you got a couple of drums there. My son is a drummer. He's 13. And by the way, I know you started working at Guitar Center, right? That was one of your first jobs.
yeah, yeah.
My kid loves Guitar Center. We have the one by us is really big, a lot of drums, a lot of keyboards. He loves that stuff. And we got on the subject of drummers, like are his favorite drummers. And I want to talk to you a little bit about drumming because I used to drum in high school myself. I want to hear your top three. His top three: Neil Peart of Rush, John Bonham of Led Zeppelin, and Stuart Copeland of the Police. I want to hear yours. Who are your favorite drummers, Josh?
Well, first of all, that's amazing at 13 to have some favorite drummers that are just classics.
Yeah,
Especially, in an age where there's some amazing drummers, even just on Instagram, TikTok,
yeah, you're
whatever.
right.
So it's cool that, the some of these legends are still being represented with the youth. Um, Great choices. And also I will say, that's awesome you guys are going to Guitar Center. I actually learned how to play drums pretty much at Guitar Center. I kind of like I lived close to one when I was young. So before I worked there, I would skateboard or ride my bike pretty much every day, 6 or 7 days a week, and sit down for like an hour. And all the people in there, the workers, were super cool.
Yeah.
I'd probably play for like an hour, and every once in a while they come up and be like, "Hey, hey, hey, man, we got to try and sell these things. There are other people, trying to shop, and we know you're not gonna buy one." Um, but yeah, shout out to Guitar Center. Um, yeah, and at that time, I think I wasn't even really like on YouTube that much. There was like I remember, I think it's still a website, but drummerworld.com. There was like links to hundreds of drummers. Sometimes I just close my eyes and scroll and click on one. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch every video that's on this page. And yeah, I think that some of my favorite that like quickly rose to the top, Buddy Rich is just probably like one of the best of all time. He's like a big band like jazz drummer,
Oh yeah, one of the
but
OGs. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
but also like rock and roll. I mean, the dude was just I later kind of heard he wasn't maybe the best guy, which sucks. But when I was young, I didn't know any of that stuff. I was just watching him drum, and his
Right.
his chops were just wild. And I would sit there and try and just do those single stroke rolls that he mastered. And Buddy Rich was one, and then and then there was one I clicked on, Aaron Spears, and I was like, whoa, this is the whole different. This is way different. It's genre. It's kind of like gospel chops and like hip hop R&B.
Hmm.
And then became friends with them, a few years ago, and then or probably 5 or 6 years ago, and then he passed, a couple years back, which was terrible. But I still think about the first time that I saw him play. I think it was like he played with, I think it was Usher, and he's just ripping the drums and
Yeah.
just own those things. And there's something about a drummer too that's it's their talent and ability, but it's also their personality on the drums. Because the one thing that led me to the drums, I know I'm rambling now, but was I had social anxiety and fear of speaking, and I was like, this is something I can just hide in the corner and just like rip away. Like I could just hit these things as hard as I can, and it's kind of therapy, and it's kind of I don't have to talk, I don't have to really be center of attention. But I also want to figure out a way to express myself through that, express my personality. And I just remember Aaron Spears always did such a good job of expressing his personality while being like one of the best drummers ever, and that was something that really drew me to him. Um, and then I think, speaking of personality too, I think another one would be Darren King from the band Mute Math. And that dude, the first time I ever saw him, he would come out on stage and put his headphones. He'd have like a pair of headphones like this,
Yeah.
and he'd put them on, and he would duct tape them around his head. Well, there they go. He would duct tape them around his head because he would just go so crazy that they'd fly off if he
Fly
didn't.
off his
So
head.
yeah, he'd duct tape them all the way around. And amazing drummer. But I think that I kind of like at a certain point just fell in love with uh, you know, performers, showmen, and people who are inspiring behind the drums. And because I was always like, I could sit my youngest sister down and show her some of my favorite, technical, amazing drummers, and she'd be all that's cool, but I could show her some of these other guys that are showmen, performers, play with passion and purpose. And I think that that's like the type of thing that would like inspire her, not necessarily to play drums even, but just in life. It's like, oh, that's cool. He's doing something he loves, he's good at, and he's passionate about it. So
Putting on a
that's
show. It's not just about the technique and the technical part of it. It's part of putting on a show as well.
Yeah, yeah, and there's something that I feel is pretty important about being able to captivate um, people, even non-musicians, in a way that is inspiring and passionate.
Well, you're no slouch yourself when it comes to those drums, I tell you. I mean, you know how to wail, that's for sure.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I think that I've spent hours watching drummers do it. So
Is that how you taught yourself? Was it mostly like YouTube and stuff? Did you have like an instructor, or was it more like I'm just gonna try stuff?
yeah, it was me figuring it out. Yeah, watching a lot of videos, kind of like taking mental notes.
Yeah,
I started my first instrument was the trumpet, and I was taught, and after a few years, like I was not bad, but I realized that I couldn't really play anything outside of like a sheet of music because I just learned how to sight read.
yeah.
And I was like, man, I want to be creative with this and kind of do my own thing and not really be told how to do it. And that's when I kind of like I told myself that I was just going to teach myself the drums and do it the way that I wanted to do it. And then I remember playing at my school drum set, and the instructor's like, your arms are way too high and you need to keep it tight, and because you have more control, and you can stay on time a little bit better. He's not wrong, but I was like, well, I want to do it like that. I want to just I want to hit
It's
them
more
hard.
fun my way.
Yeah. So I just kept doing it my way.
Well, everybody gets to see you wail on the drums on October 17th. This is the biggest show you guys have ever done. You played Ohio Stadium before, but you were on the field, right? It wasn't like you were part of a football game, I think.
Yeah, there was a hockey series that was
That's what it
happening
was,
at
yeah.
the OSU stadium, and I think we played for like 7 minutes. So we got a
Yeah.
little taste of it. And now it's probably, I guess that show I also had COVID and flu B, so it was kind of miserable for me at the time. I'm hoping that I get to I get
Enjoy
to
it.
yeah, I get to enjoy it this time.
Tickets are on sale officially next Friday. That's May 22nd. The pre-sale starts Tuesday, but you got to sign up for that by Sunday night, 21pilots.com. And of course, we'll be giving away free tickets on Mix 94.1. Very happy about that. I want to ask you one more question about AI. It's amazing how much it's exploded in the past couple of years. And now we're starting to see it infiltrate the world of music. People are using it as a tool. Other people are using it more as songwriting. Have you guys dabbled with it? Are you using it? Are you scared? I mean, we're all scared of it, I guess, but how are
Yeah.
you utilizing it, if at all?
We are not using AI. It's man, it's a that's a tough one. I feel like it scares me. It is a dangerous like realm we're getting into with supercomputers and learning technology where it's just I think we're entering into kind of like an unknown space that like we don't really know like the full capabilities of what AI is able to do these days. I think that like it also seems to me like there's no I mean I'm sure there is, but I'm guessing like there's an intention for it, but I can't see a lot of real benefit or like real good that can be done with it. I think that I don't know. I don't want to. I also don't want to sound like an old man here, but like I'm sitting here right now with kind of like relatively minimal, but enough setup to like I recorded drums for our whole last two records right here, and I feel like I've got all the tools that I need to do that. So I don't know. I think also there is I think with our favorite records and our favorite songs and albums, it's just so full of micro decisions that are made by humans, and big decisions. It's like, man, the tone of this guitar uh might have taken 3 days for somebody to get, perfect for a chorus of a song. Um, there's songs that I recorded like three different drum sets in two different rooms for one song, and there's something about the human element of these the decisions made, and also human performance. Tyler playing the keys, singing into a mic, uh, me playing the drums with, and being intentional about the softer hits and the harder hits. There's just something that I feel like can't be replicated by AI as much as they listen to songs and extract data and stuff. So I don't know. I don't really know. I think again we're kind of like in an unknown space with that, and um, there are tools that could be used, but we haven't used any of them for our music.
I have a sneaking suspicion there are songs on the radio on the chart right now that have used it. I mean, you can almost, it's almost
Yeah,
like they plug it in, like make it sound like a cross between this and this, and it's just
yeah.
poof, out it comes. Who
No,
knows,
I
right?
no, I think you're right. I mean, I think I was recording something at the house not long ago, and there's like a discussion with a couple people about it, and because a buddy was like, my dad's been putting on like AI jazz playlists or something, and he's like, it's like, and then somebody else was like, uh this AI music company reached out to a friend of mine to do like they offered him like a bunch of money to do an advertisement, and that's where it gets tricky too. It's like, man, people are trying to make some money, and you get offered a pretty large sum of cash to film a video about a 15-second
Yeah.
video that goes on your story.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's a weird kind of like gray area that
It's
we're in
it's the
now.
best of times and it's the worst of times, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
well, we're excited about this big news here in the state of Ohio. 21 Pilots doing their biggest show ever. Hometown show, Ohio Stadium, October 17th. Tickets officially go on sale next Friday, the 22nd. There is a pre-sale. You got to sign up by Sunday night. 21pilots.com. Josh Gunn, thanks for making some time, man.